if y'all heard the music and you know what music that is, that's Having Fun with J&J. It's time. Hey, Jeanette, what's up?
Oh my gosh.
It's been a week, right?
It's been a week. I'll tell you that one. I can't wait. And tomorrow we're going to have our morning breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a couple of chefs behind us, feeding us on our chair. We have an all day tomorrow. If you haven't heard.
So we have so much going on. We almost don't even know where to start. But today, well, I guess we'll start with the most important thing that we got going on today, and then we'll tell you all about the fun stuff later.
Yes. She's my favorite. Oh my gosh.
No, I brought the music up because we usually do crafters or artists that do physical making things. And we've had a couple of musicians on, but we have a very, very special lady with us today. She's amazing. Just in a few minutes we've been talking. I know, we're like, so we'd like to introduce to you Andrea Marsavonian. She is a concert pianist and composer.
Oh my gosh. She's back there. I've been talking about Andrea since months ago. And I'm like, I want her on our show. I don't care what I have to do. I will drive down there and bring her here if I have to. I heard her music on the website. I was like, oh, it makes me feel like I need an elegant black dress with fur and diamonds.
I know, right? You're gonna drape yourself over a very cool, piano and.
Exactly. It is so wonderful. And I've told everybody about you. And I've been telling you every day, I love you. I just love it. And I wish I had a music teacher like her because I would be playing myself.
Well, we often talk about creativity and people that run businesses out of their natural God-given skills and talents. And some of us have to work a little bit on some of our talents, but most of it is given to us and we believe by God. And so we always want to showcase someone that's special, someone that's touched other people's lives, someone that has added to the joy and to the creativity of the world. And Jeanette ran across Andrea, and we're just so tickled pink to have her. She's just a joy. And I think if we nudge her a little bit, she might play a little bit of her repertoire there. But
I'm dressed for it.
We all dressed in our elegant black, and we matched Andrea. We did not call each other for our fashion choices. Nope. She's a little bit more flashy than us. She's got her little jacket on that looks. I want to go back and get my leopard thing on just to match it.
But, I got fur. I can put it around my neck.
So Andrea, I'm going to give it over to Jeanette, and you guys can start your yapping because you guys are definitely fast friends.
Yeah.
Jeanette.
Absolutely. And can you give me, I always love, my mother always told me, listen to the wise because they have a lot to teach you. So my question is, how did you know that you wanted to play piano at a young age? How did it start?
Jeanette, I don't remember not playing the piano.
Wow. Do you remember when you started?
Do I what?
Do you remember when you started?
I've been told that when I started, but I didn't. No, I don't remember all of that. Everything. What I do remember is that my mother used to sing with me all the time, and it was fun. It was many songs that she grew up learning to sing were songs she wanted to share with me. Well, that's the whole process of folk tunes, right?
Yeah.
And for a child to be able to sing with a parent or by themselves eventually. It's passing on many understandings. When you learn to sing this, when you when you learn to be able to have an understanding of how far away one note is from another when you're singing, and you're absolutely learning the lyrics, you know the words that go with which notes, it all of a sudden opens your mind. The doors and windows of the mind that are constantly being opened if someone is really absolutely turned on to the whole idea. It's really,
Wow.
it
I
makes
understand
a
what you're
huge difference.
I understand what you're saying. There's one song that me and my daughter grew up with, and every time we sang it, we would bop our heads because that was the song that's what they did. And it was called Don't Worry, Don't Hurt Me, that one. Lady, don't hurt me no more. And you know, um,
Yeah, brilliant.
so me and her would always bop our head. To this day, she will only listen to 80 songs, and every time that song comes on, we'll text each other like, "Mom, do you remember this?" And we'll be bopping our heads. So yeah, when you said that, it brought me back to when I was with my daughter bopping our head to music. So it is true, and I just love that. Now I understand that you're still teaching, right?
Yes, I am, and it's something I don't ever want to stop doing ever. There are many people who think as they are planning their lives, they look forward to retiring. No, not this lady. I don't ever want to retire. Ever.
Wow.
Ever.
I
Unless,
think
if something physically said, no, you must not do that anymore. Okay, all right, maybe, right? But
right.
otherwise, as long as the drive is there, you better believe I want to share.
Mm, 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 mm.
I've often wondered why that the whole retirement thing is such a big thing for older people. If you're healthy and you're interested, I mean, I know a lot of people like to travel and things like that, or they've been in a job 20 years. But if you're a creative person,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that you ever stop creating,
Mm-mm.
right?
You might as well just hang
Yeah.
it.
So, what was the first time you touched a piano?
I don't remember.
Remember that?
I don't remember. I know I must have had some help getting up on these.
Oh wow, that one.
It was a piano that they bought my parents bought their first home together and bought the piano that belonged to the person who sold their home to my
They used
parents.
to sell homes with pianos. They don't do that anymore.
She had, who doesn't do what?
The houses don't get sold with pianos anymore.
Well, there was some of my students. I make sure that they learn. Probably have never realized that for many years, we'll say in the 1900s, all right, and before, probably, but I don't know for sure. Uh, it was not unusual for a person to have a piano in their home. There was no, even at one point, no radio, no television, and lots of people were working their jobs with the earth. And if dinner was to be ready at a certain hour, they all looked forward to getting home. They could hear the bell being rung outside. Come time to eat dinner. And so afterward, they entertained themselves. If somebody learned to play the piano, they all gathered around to sing around the piano.
Yes.
Everybody had a piano in their home. It was not unusual.
We see that in the movies. If you go back to Time Warner movies and you notice how they all go and gather in the black and white movies, they gather with the pianos. I didn't know they did that for real, really. And what would be the favorite song that they would play?
You're asking me a question? What would be the famous song?
She wants to know what were the top 20 hits.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
That
don't know. I don't know. I really don't know for sure. I could guess maybe some might be spirituals. Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
Yep.
All kinds of songs,
I
really.
remember that one.
And eventually that's where vaudeville came about when people were having hard times in desperate conditions economically. They the families realized they could sing, they could dance, they could entertain, and so whole families would have every member of their family trained to do something on the stage. They would travel to the next place where there was an auditorium, and they knew where the next place would be often. And they if the audience loved their playing or their performance, they threw money on the stage.
Wow.
And if they did not like the performance,
They threw fruit and
they
vegetables.
would throw rotten tomatoes, not applesauce, rotten tomatoes on the
But
stage.
you know what people forget is when movies started to become movies because they did silent ones. The person that made the music was a piano player. So the piano player would accompany the silent movies, and they'd have to watch the screen, and then they'd come in and play the. You know, when you see Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin, and they're running, and you see a train, and then you'd have the pianist there. So it really has the piano has been just a staple of American life forever.
Jenny, you have got it down correctly. And do you know that that was when there was no sound that came with the movies. And that's why they hired either an organist in the theater where there was great big organ, or someone who played the piano. And they would watch the screen, and there was one chord which is called a diminished chord. And when there was a damsel on, if some female is on the railroad track and the train is coming in the movie that they're watching, they love the
And you have the man with the mustache, the black mustache, you know, and you go, ooh, and she'd be going.
That was wonderful.
I love that.
A history that needs to be uncovered and revisited from time to time, I think.
Oh, that was wonderful. I saw how fast your hands go. I'm like, good.
For 1 second, and then she like clicked in. I have to tell everybody that before we started, I was reminiscing the fact that my failure to grasp piano, and I mentioned a song to her that I was trying to remember, and I just gave her like 2 words of it, and she turns around and she plays it. I'm like, nobody's heard of that song. It's amazing. This, Andrea, I just have to say that you're just a joy. Like the things that you know and you are in you, and it's so much fun. Are you working with specific music right now? Is there something that really in this modern era that kind of clicks with you, even though it's modern?
Yes. I want you to know that one of my dearest, this is in quotes, my dearest friends would be George Gershwin, Rachmaninoff, Andre Previn, just many people, Michel Legrand.
Oh,
Gosh, I can't. They're just in addition to Bach and Beethoven and Chopin and Liszt and my goodness, so many more. There are others that have come along that sometimes you find can they hear things in their music that you're hearing in your head. or feel it in your heart. Whichever it comes first or second, doesn't matter. It's just, it's amazing. That's all. We are blessed. Music is a blessing, it's a gift. And sometimes it's respected and sometimes it's not. And that's a very individual call, very subjective and objective at the same time.
Thank you so much. Now I understand that you have like two pieces to play for us today. Are you gonna play like two pieces? I can't wait.
I didn't know exactly which two to play because I love patriotic music.
Uh-huh.
And I also,
I just love hearing you play. If you haven't got it right, well, you could play a commercial and I'll be happy. I don't know.
Right?
I love you playing. I just love seeing you play. So
uh,
put up the and I'll put up the thing.
Yay! Oh my gosh,
Oh.
that was so amazing. It was just beautiful. A little jazzy, you know, a little kind of like you're at the speakeasy there. I felt like I was back in New Orleans.
Right. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely wonderful. I was just memorized. I saw myself back there. I'm like, oh, that was
I
nice.
know. You know, it really, again, even if you're not musically inclined to do it,
yeah.
it really is a soul um, awakening for you. You know, you can really feel the music in it, and it just makes you happy, and it can change your whole emotion. You know, it brings you back to memories. Next to food,
Mhm.
you know, food can trigger memories and cooking smells and things like that. But music, you can. I remember hearing. My dad was a big Eddie Arnold fan, like the old country, Connie Francis. And as soon as I hear that one song, I go back to with my dad, or you know, my kids.
Yeah.
I used to put them in the car, and I put my CD in, and they knew all of Simon Garfunkel. They knew the Boxer, and they knew when to clap. And every time the Boxer comes on, I go back, and just like Jeanette was saying with her daughter, that was just marvelous. That was awesome.
What's your favorite genre to play?
it all depends on I don't know. Sometimes when I'm playing, new music comes to me while I am playing.
That's right. You're a composer. You're a composer too, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
but not everybody who composes hears the music and uh, it's right happens right all together. Everything one time. Boom.
Oh my gosh.
It's
When you teach, because of all of COVID and all of the people are farther away, can you teach people through the Zoom, or do they have to be?
I will tell you that that was an eye-opening experience because when students come to their lessons with the teacher and they have left home to do so, the teacher has no idea what the instrument is that the child or any student, whatever age, is playing on and practicing on at home. And that was an eye opener because I could not believe that some of the instruments they were playing at home, they were incorporating what I was teaching them, but then strange things started to happen. And I didn't understand because some of these students had come to in-person lessons.
Right.
I'm familiar with them and their playing and how they play. And online, they would be holding a note, but on the key down, they would hold the key down, and I would realize that the the instrument they were playing had cut out the sound early, even
Oh,
the note.
okay.
And so when you have perfect pitch, you can understand which notes are being played at any point. All right. So that's a tremendous help for anyone teaching, especially online. All right. But I
So
think
you'd rather have them with,
well, after it was fine to have person to person contacts in lessons, everyone wanted to never have an online lesson again. They all wanted to come in person. Please, in person, please.
that's nice to hear. Yep,
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
So what are you gonna play for us next?
I want to do something different. And as I said, I really just did not know exactly what I should play for you. Um, but I wanted something that people would recognize.
Oh my gosh. Brava. It was beautiful. Godfather, correct? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are so many. I was just thinking of the score from Romeo and Juliet, the Franco Zeffirelli movie.
Yeah.
How beautiful that score is, and so many just amazing.
Actually, I can't remember how that begins.
Gosh, I'm the worst person to sing it. But that one, it was from 1969, I want to say.
Yeah, I think I know that, but I can't think of it.
Romeo and Juliet score.
That's what I was about to do. Yeah, we're looking at. Thank God we have internet. You know, at least that's we can look up history.
Movie score. They gave me Tchaikovsky, so I don't think that's it.
But it was nice. So your students, how many do you have a day?
Oh, most days I have 4, sometimes 5. And yeah, so each weekday I
can hear it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. How many students you have?
I said each day I have 4 or 5 students a day. That's every weekday. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of bad notes.
Well, it depends when they have practice.
Okay. It's safer than being a driving instructor, I guess, but I don't know if the help that.
When they have practice, we have something to build upon that they have presented. A lot of people don't understand that. They think you just sign up for a few lessons and that's how you learn to play instruments. They don't understand the process. They don't understand that you are preparing for your next lesson. You are utilizing what you were introduced to at your last lesson so that you can say, hello, teacher, listen to me. I have something to present to you, and here's what I have been working on. Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. They don't understand that. They just don't. They would rather have perhaps even some arguments as to I don't feel like practicing today. Well, how about tomorrow? Well, no, because I have such and such, and I have such and such, and then I have such and such. Oh, I see. Uh-huh. You really don't want to do this with the piano or whatever your instrument happens to be. Oh, no, I do not want to, but
Do you find that the piano is the central instrument in music? I mean, pretty much everybody that plays another instrument seems to know piano. Is that the basis?
it's amazing. All the things that are connected with the piano. It's like when you learn to study, you're the conductor. You're learning, but you are becoming a conductor for all of the music that you play. You're the one that schedules your rehearsals, your practice times, and you're the one who says, was that a good practice time or a lousy one? You know, all of that goes right into the
practice part is
the conductor, but then you've got the singer. Your melodies are supposed to sing, truly sing, and wow, That's different from what often, very often, the left hand is not playing melody, but sometimes it does. But left hand, most of the time, is supplying rhythm and harmony, and we want that to be secondary to the star of the show. That is, whichever hand is playing the melody. Melody is the king.
Right.
That's what we recognize. That, oh, that's such and such a piece of music. It's that melody line that, along with other aspects of the music, we remember. Yeah.
Andrea, the joy that you get from talking about music.
You know.
Look at your face. She's just
it's joyous.
it's so amazing. I'm going to switch everybody around here so we can get you a good piece of it.
Oh, I was going to ask her, I usually at this time read the word of the day, and today's word was about worship songs.
There you go.
So she's going to play. I would love you to play a worship song instead of my word. If you would love to play a worship song for us.
Before we end.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Okay, put it back. I want to see it.
Oh, put it back. What a beautiful way to end.
I know.
That was just beautiful. Oh my goodness. Is she gonna be on our show?
Yes, she is. She's gonna be coming back December 3rd, right? Right?
Yeah, find out more about that. Thank you.
We never, ever, ever have enough time with people like this, with women like this. It's never. I could stay with you all day. I swear. There are so many questions. We are so blessed to have you on the show and to share you with everybody. And I don't know about Jeanette, but
I'm excited. I'm going to be happy all day.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to see someone to hear someone who has this. What I just get from you, and when we talk to crafters, you can talk about like the weather and like outside sources, but when you talk about that person's passion, that person's talent, you can see it come out in them, their radiance and their joy and their excitement, and we see that in you. It's amazing. I don't know if Jeanette thinks the same, but I think she does.
Yes, I'm just in Lala. I'm still here. I've loved music all my life. It was one of my my places to go when I had trouble in the house. I would always put my music on and it was calm music and that piano and everything. I would go and just enjoy the sun, looking at the birds and the trees, listening to music. That was my joy. That was my escape, and I loved it. And no one could take me out of that. I would be in my realm, you know. So to have you on, and when I first heard your music, I immediately called her. I think I remember I was in front of Walmart. My husband was, we just finished getting off the phone, and my husband was shopping. I immediately called her. I said, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh." And she's like, "What?" "I got good news for you." I'm like, "What?" "We have a pianist coming." And I told her all about it. She was like, "Okay." And I was trying to send her the music, and it's like, "Oh, you gotta hear her." And then, yeah, it was that. I still remember that day. And I was so happy. And every time I talked to you, I was like, "Oh, she's so sweet. She's so sweet." Just like her music is sweet. I just love it. And, we were so happy. I'm like joy. My cheeks are hurting because I'm happy so much.
I know, right? It's been such a challenging week this week, in all aspects, and to end it on a Friday with such fun,
yes,
it makes it easy to smile.
yes.
And you're not that far from me. I live in San Antonio.
I know.
So if I get up to Frisco, I may have to interview.
I would be
so. You might have to teach me "Flow Gently, Sweet Afton" again, because I
would be so jealous. I would have to take an airline flight to go over there.
No. The idea of being able to communicate this way is why the other doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter where we are. If we can communicate this way, this is fantastic.
Oh, I could take lessons right here.
I know, really.
Having the piano, now that they have a virtual one, and practice and everything. I would be a good student and bring you music. You would give me homework and I would do it.
I know. Right now that we're older, like my granddaughter's like, "Did you practice your cello?" And she's like, and but now she's kind of getting into it, and she has a baby cello. It's so cute because she's 12. So my daughter had to go get her a bigger cello because she's grown, and she'll say things like, "Mom, you're not holding the bow right." She's all like. So I'm trying to get her to teach me to play the cello, and I think she realizes that that's probably not a good idea.
Now, my young kids, they did not play an instrument, not that I remember, but my son has a voice. Now the boy can sing. Now he doesn't do anything with it, but the boy got it in here. He comes from a family of his father's side that's deep within singing, so he has that voice. When he sings, I cry because he sings good. But I always wanted to play an instrument, and I always thought the drums would be fun for me because it reminds me of me. I'm the drummer. I can drum. I got the bongos in me and the Spanish heritage, and I would just I'll be a Ricky for real.
Well, in the Lucy and Ricky show, man, we just did our Christmas at Halloween show, and so Jeanette and I dressed up as Ricky and Lucy, but their show was really based around music, and they used to do sing-alongs all the time.
Yeah.
Ricky would play, then Ethel would play, and I fit Lucy perfectly. They kept putting her in the other room because she couldn't sing, but they're even little Ricky. They got little Ricky to play, and they always had some kind of music in their show.
Yeah.
And so, Ricky was in real life, he was an entertainer, but it was the 50s were a really great time for music. People don't realize how much fun it was.
They really don't.
Yeah, it was. Now, and they do now. They're like, "Oh, who's Lucy?" I'm like, but you have so much depth and just remembering things like how they go and just very impressive. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
It is, and I am so sad that we have to go, but
No.
now I'm the one that's saying we have to go, and she goes, no. I'm the one usually saying no. We just switched roles.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the end too for us. Here's my little bit of Bugs Bunny when they go the end. That's all, folks.
No, really. That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for being with us. We really enjoy you.
Thank you for inviting Andrea Marsavonian to your special show.
Oh,
It's a special treat to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We're so glad you visited us. Made our day.
Yes.
Made our day.
You made mine. Thank you.
So
And
we're gonna
we get calls too.
go ahead and show our Creative Spirit channel just to make sure everyone knows. We have some really cool specials coming up tomorrow. We're going to do a new show after this, but tomorrow we're going to have our Holiday Sparkle Shopping Extravaganza. So we're going to have crafters and small business people on there all day. All day. And then December 3rd, we're going to have our St. Jude Craftathon. It's a fundraiser for St. Jude. I think Ms. Marsavonian is going to make an appearance, hopefully, somewhere in there.
That'll be high. What we got to do is put her on and let her play.
We're gonna kidnap her in the piano. I can push it. I'll push it down the street.
I'll pull.
Right. You pull, I'll push, and we should put her on the top, and she'll get her there.
And she'll be on the top of the piano and just laying there. Push and pull.
Rose in your teeth.
You are so silly.
We are. This is why it's called having fun with J and J.
You really do have fun.
So make sure you check us out for the rest of the week. We've got some other, check out the Creative Spirit channel. We've got cartoons going, Christmas specials. We've got a lot of things for the kids. And you know what? I like to watch the cartoons too. Yeah. So I find myself watching the cartoons. I'm not supposed to. I guess I'm supposed to be an adult. But
I'm a cartoon. I go back to 6 years old watching cartoons.
I love them. So we've got cartoons and we've got some new crafters coming. And so we hope you tune in and please share this with everybody so everybody can see how wonderful this woman is. And you never know, if you're up in somewhere in Texas, you might want to stop in and have a refresher course, right, Andrea?
Oh, that's right.
It's fun.
All right, here we go.
We got a remark. I'm watching it. I love her playing The Godfather. I love that song.
It's just that era of music.
Yes.
You know, that the 60s into the 70s. The scores were amazing. You know, that was Love Story, and you know, just all of those really
cool things. That was music back then. I don't know what they have today, but
I don't know.
Back then, that was music.
See?
And with one hand.
Best movie ever. Best movie ever. I like it because your name's Jenny.
Okay, we gotta go.
Here we go. Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Bye, Jeanette.
You, both of you. You're wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you,
ma'am.